you know, an Xbox 360 or an Xbox One, you should be able to get a hold of. The new version, I wouldn't even try, and it would be not worth the money. But Ray is doing a thing right now where he's like, instead of buying an Xbox One, you can actually like run it through a laptop. And he was trying to explain it to me, but you know, he's a tech guy. But if he get, but if he gets that going in an easy way, he could send you like a easy tutorial. So, because he already's helped me with tech stuff, I'm just like, you know, it's such a pain in the ass dealing with this copyright bullshit on YouTube. And he's like, oh, set up a Vimeo account, and then you can put any video on there you want. It's behind a paywall, but I'll figure out a way that they won't charge you. And blah, blah, blah. So he set it up for me. That's why I put that Kick Hider thing up, because I was just like, oh fuck, you know, like that. Now I can review wrestling matches that are fucking copyright shit because they'll never know, and so I can do like WrestleMania matches, you know, and stuff like that.
I was threatening to do some fucking WrestleMania fucking thingamajigger.
Yeah, that's how. Because now I have a Vimeo, so I was just like, oh. So Ray just sent me like a step-by-step thing, and it was like with screen captures of this is what this looks like, hit this. And I was like, that's exactly how you have to do it, you know, with me. So
you're saying like whatever the new Xbox is, you can't buy that fucking thing just like a PlayStation?
correct.
What the fuck is this bullshit?
It's what works.
Why the fuck can you not buy a fucking system?
Because they're gonna make them readily available right before Christmas, and they'll fucking sell them out at an incredibly inflated rate. That's why.
I thought at a non-retail rate. So you're saying on the fucking secondary one?
No, I'm saying they'll raise the price point of the fucking retail. It's what they did for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One.
Fucking shitting me?
No. They're fucking cocks. Which is, you know that's what they're gonna do, because every game that's getting put out now is for Xbox One and PlayStation 4 as well. So they're gonna string this shit out, Jeff. Or else they would just make games that were exclusively for PlayStation 5 and for Xbox, whatever the new fucking thing is called. But they have not done that. So clearly they plan on stretching out the fucking, you know, by the time everybody who wants one gets one, it'll be a year or two from now, probably. Insane, right?
It's so weird, because like I didn't even want one or two or anything like that. Then I watched some fucking YouTube video about the Spider-Man game, and I thought, you know what, that looks really fun. And then I watched the fucking the part 2, the Miles Morales version of it, I guess. And I thought that looks really fun too. And I thought, you know, I got a lot of free fucking time when fucking work. I don't like to go anywhere. Maybe I should buy this fucking shit, see if I enjoy it. Because you know, last time on this PlayStation shit, like, I get so fucking angry just about the fact that it would take 15 minutes for the fucking game to load up and shit. Apparently that's not the case anymore, correct? I mean, like,
Right.
moves fast and all that shit. Like, I want to play. I want to fucking wait a half hour to get fucking started. That shit's annoying the fuck out of me.
Amen.
It's like by the time the fucking game was ready to go, I was like, fuck, I'm fucking shit. Half hour of the time I was gonna fucking dedicate to this is gone. But, I don't know. There's some fucking games, you know, like the Call of Duty shit, going through the fucking Vietnam fucking shit. I think would be pretty, I'm probably gonna get out of that. And of course the Spider-Man. And I've never played the Warriors.
It's I think Warriors was done by Rockstar Games, who are the people who do Grand Theft Auto. So that's a good thing for sure. So
yeah, I just thought that would be something cool. So I thought, oh man, that fucking hullabaloo about that bullshit was 6 months ago.
The ancient Greeks believed that King Poseidon ruled the waters, whereas here at Prosperity Sands, they're ruled by Luxury Leisure Groups International.
I mean, Ray was saying he was having trouble finding an Xbox One, you know? Yes. Yes, but it would be over retail. Because they don't make them anymore. So now you're buying them from somebody, which means you're buying them and when COVID hit, according to Ray, like all those things got snatched up because all these people were stuck at home who are never at home, and so everybody got the idea of like, well, fuck, I got time to play fucking video games now, don't I? And so he's like, it's only now just recovering. He's like, every week the price of the Xbox One goes down, which is the system that I have. And he goes like, so eventually he's like, I'll snag one. He's like, but I almost bought one like spontaneously, but he's like, I can't pay $400 for this fucking shit, you know? I don't care how much money I have. I can't. What's that? It's the one that I have, so it's like 2 or 3 years old. It's not the new one that just came out. I don't remember. It's like the Xbox something series, or I can't remember. That's it. That's it. Yeah, Series X. And then XS means it's like a special edition of the new system. So you'll have like PlayStation 5S for like some special edition of the new PlayStation. So I had to learn all this shit once I started having a gaming channel. I was just like, I never knew any of this shit. No. Oh, you know what I did see though? Because I was looking at like, what are other games that I could play that are older games that I was really good at, and so I can sort of perfect them. And I thought, oh, Def Jam Fight for New York. That would be fun, because people of a certain age would be like, oh yeah, that game was the shit. And so I still have a GameCube, right? I still have a GameCube and all those games. Fucking some of those games for the GameCube, like I had this one called Goblin Commander that I fucking loved. Apparently not a lot of people did, so there aren't a lot of copies out there. It's going for like $300. I was like, what the fuck? You know? For this shitty little game I probably got used for like $5 or something. I was like, wow. So pretty awesome. So I thought, yeah, I'll play some fucking... Maybe I'll start doing that if I can hook up my game capture software to it. And I don't see why I wouldn't. You know, fucking play some Def Jam Fight for New York, play some Goblin Commander, and then tell people like, oh, if you really like the game, it's really hard to get, but you can just buy it from me. Fucking sell them my game after I get done playing it. So... Signed by the man himself. Signed by the great Stephen Platinum. He will sign your copy of fucking... Def Jam Fight for New York was the shit, because it was just like a pro wrestling game that they just adapted and made it into street fighting, and it was so much fucking fun. Me and my friends used to play it all the time. It was just like, and, you know, I unlocked everybody as fast as I could so we could have more fun when we fought each other. And it was like, I want to be Flavor Flav, I want to be Method Man, you know, it's so fucking great.
The water along Captain...
And then fucking Henry Rollins as your trainer when you would go in to build up your character was just hysterical, you know. They made a couple of those, right? Like there was Def Jam Vendetta, and then Def Jam Fight for New York was that game, though. God, it was so much fun. And you had the chicks fighting each other. You had like Kimora Lee Simmons was one of the women. So great.
The idea that shorelines belong to the public comes from Roman Emperor Justinian.
I know, but you know, I mean, you know, as I read in that book, it was Nintendo that did that first with the Super NES. Is they did. It's called like the policy of like deliberate scarcity, and it absolutely worked. You know, it let them keep a 93% lock on the market forever. You know, because it's just funny, you know, when you tell most people they can't have a thing, they'll just find an equivalent. But when you tell video game people they can't have a thing, they obsess until they get it. It's just the nature of the beast. Yeah.
Concentrations of metals and hydrocarbons in the water show just how much the Gulf has progressed since Amerigo Vespucci first arrived here in 1497.
It'll be higher, so it'll be like 500-600. I mean, that's what the Xbox 5s are going for new, right? Yeah. Or they'll attach something to. If they don't sell it for more than 500, they'll attach something to it. To like where you have to buy a game, or I mean, it's bullshit, you know? That's why that person, I mean, what a blessing that was when I was like, just moved out, just got divorced, I'm fucking on my ass, and that person like sensing it and going, here, I'm gonna give you this ticket so you can get a fucking Xbox One for $125. I mean, what a fucking blessing, you know? I mean, Blu-ray player, I run my HBO Max through it. I mean, it's fucking amazing.
To see this area is to witness the inability of the hydrosphere to support the growth of humanized landscapes along the Gulf. The ocean is a source of life, inspiration, and eternal renewal.
Aww.
But mostly it exists to be exploited and commodified by humans. As we face impending resource scarcity and declining living...
I'm nervous, you know, because that GameCube has been in that box for 2 or 3 years. Hopefully, if it works, it will be amazing, because that'll be a You know, you can always talk to Joe Black. Works in a place that fucking repairs that shit and sells old games. That's what he does. So, because Joe Black keeps in constant contact with me, and he goes like, "Dude, I can't stop watching your fucking gaming shit." He's like, "It's so different that everybody else plays Madden or plays the really popular games." He's like, "You playing stuff and then finding weird little things." He's like, "I'm obsessed." I'm like, "Cool." You know, that's the idea. Like, I would think, Jeff, that all I'm doing it as we speak. All I'm doing is just swimming around eating shit because I'm preparing myself for this edition at the end of the month. And I'll think, who the fuck would want me? Because I say right off the bat, I'm not doing anything important. I'm literally just grinding, just eating stuff. But people watch and comment and all that shit. You know, just because for whatever, I don't know, it's like a comfortable habit. It's like having the TV on when you want to sleep, I guess, for some people, you know. So, okay. It's interesting. Oh, God. So, you know who I heard was likely to get the job that fucking AEW asked, or Warner asked me to apply for? That Yeah, prepare to be made sick. Hopefully this is not true. But apparently 2 people are Eric Bischoff. That would be the worst, right? But you know who else is rumored that their contract is almost up? Is Bruce Pritchard. Surely not, right? They can't be. But that's not it. But it's not AEW. It's Warner. That's why I'm scared. You know. I mean, the Eric Bischoff resume and the Bruce Pritchard resume sure look a million times better than. I mean, you know, I wouldn't even be qualified for the job in their eyes. I don't think, because because no TV and that kind of thing, right? So, fuck. Let us pray, because if it's one of those two, oh my god. Me neither. I mean, because it seems like Warner has a much tighter relationship with AEW than, you know, let's say the WWE's broadcast partners, who only seem to pop their head up to bitch about. Have you heard about the latest bitch and moan from fuck? Is because they announced we're gonna start pre-taping these NXTs. So once a month they're gonna do a live show, and then they're gonna record 2 or 3 shows afterwards. And apparently, you know, USA was like, "Fuck you! We're not paying for pre-tape shows." So now that's a thing, because that was supposed to happen right after SummerSlam. They were going to start recording NXT. Yeah.
The Great White is one of nature's deadliest weapons.
And save fucking money when they're making more money than they've ever made. I mean, these guys, Jeff. I get that it's a business, but for fuck's sake. Yeah. Especially because it so directly affects not the quality of what they do and the safety of the performers. I mean, making these guys who have wrestled once a week tops for 2 years, now you're going to have them work 3 times in a night in NXT style matches? That seems like a recipe for fucking horror, doesn't it? I don't know. I haven't asked Ryan yet. We're gonna try to have dinner this weekend. But he's, you know, like his latest thing is, we've got to get out of this performance center. We got to get out of filming here. He goes, but they don't seem to want to. I'm like, why would they? You know how much money they save? What's the option? Filming NXT before or after Raw or SmackDown? Like, they're already filming shit before and after Raw and SmackDown. So, I mean, he's not wrong, but again, like, where are you gonna go? I mean, they don't know what's gonna happen. They don't know if, you know, we might all get shut down, like, so that's tough. I like the venue, but then again, it's like any place that you shoot the same place forever, it's never good, right? It was not good when TNA shot everything at Universal Studios, you know? It killed them, because when they would go to other places, it's not like people turned out to go see them. unless they were in England. You know, the biggest crowd they ever drew was
Coastal
what,
risk
right?
analysis reveals that someday someone here is going to get a sizable check.
I mean, they did some shows, people forget. I mean, near the end of the TNA era, they were doing some shows in front of like 200 people with the worst lighting imaginable, saving every I mean, it was fucking horrific, you know.
The ocean waters are driven constantly by tides, currents, and Saudi-owned super yachts.
Oh my, yeah, I loved going to those because there would be nobody there. I mean, that's, you know, so I remember like the international tournament that they had, and so they literally would just change the flags. They would go like, oh, okay, change the flags to make it look like we're in Japan. I mean, hysterical, you know. But what was great was like, you know, I was given free reign, so it's like, oh shit, let me go talk to Muda. So that, on a selfish level, that was amazing. Or just, you know, oh, here's John Davis. He'd just sit there and talk the shit for a long time. Or MVP, you know. But, I mean, all those guys knew what it was, and I'm afraid the WWE will get there eventually, especially NXT, where it'll be the guys showing up going like, because that's going to be their response to, if you feel like you always have an axe over your head, if you feel like there's no point in doing anything good, I don't care, like the long-term effect is going to be, it's just going to affect stuff. There's no way that it can't. And maybe it already has, you know? We'll see what kind of match Karrion Kross does against Samoa Joe. You know?
Yes, it's quite beautiful here. Unfortunately, bull sharks can't see color. To look at the coast is to recognize that the boundary between sea and land is transitory, and that all life on Earth is just a cosmic accident.
Yes. Necro Butcher, baby. I love him. I mean, one of my best fucking memories of booking a thing and how easy he was and how cool he was. And I mean, that's why, I mean, I'll always have, I mean, you know, Adam Pearce and Samoa Joe, you know, Adam Pearce being so, like, fucking, he was always the easiest, you know, it's just like, in spite of the fact that he caught shit all over the place, you know, between Bill and fucking Ring of Honor, and like, oh my god, you know. And it's great that, I mean, you know, Adam Pearce got himself probably the best gig he was going to get in wrestling. Can you believe, I mean, I guess I can believe because they're owned by Sinclair and they have their own up-their-ass attitude about stuff, but for them to not be in on this Forbidden Door shit with everybody else is really stupid. I don't know how else to say. Yeah. I mean, it's literally taken everything that Ring of Honor wanted to do or tried to do. You know, relationships with Japan were this big deal, and I mean, now they're doing it on such a bigger level. It's not just a bunch of Japs showing up on your card and wrestling. It's like we're winning their titles, they're winning ours. They're showing up on our show, and it's not, and it's presented like this big, huge deal. I mean, remember when Moxley wrestled a fucking older guy, and they just did such a good job of like in a week making it matter, and then you know, like fuck, who doesn't want that? Ring of Honor should, because all they have left is the name value. That's all they have to peddle, you know, and that's still a coin of the realm of this shit, you know. Ring of Honor, not like the NWA was smart enough to figure that out. Like, we don't exist if we're not part of this, you know. Yeah. I mean, otherwise, what do you got? Nick Aldis is your champ. Who gives a fuck, right? Like, Nick. I mean, it wasn't that long ago where the NWA was just pulling low-grade money hustles, you know? Nick Aldis getting booked somewhere and then deciding he didn't want to, you know, and then fucking no-showing, or like, you gotta pay me this much more if you want me to show up, and, you know, like, that was 2 years ago. They were doing that horse shit. I guess the reputation didn't stick. My God, Jeff, does a reputation stick about anything? Like, I see Rudy just posting and people sharing his shit like nothing ever happened. Nothing was ever revealed. Yeah. That was some straight up predatory, fucking taking advantage, just lowbrow. I mean, because, oh, this is going to sound crazy, and you might want to correct me on this, and feel free to do so. Like, the Joey Ryan stuff is reprehensible, but it's also a wrestler to a wrestler. It wasn't Rudy's implied, your career will be fucked if you don't do this. I'm isolating basically a fucking know-nothing teenager. And then, you know, with this matter of fact, which makes me think, oh my God, how many times has he gotten away with this shit? You know? To be so brazen and so, like, oh God. Sickening. I mean, he got away with that shit completely clean. I mean, certain people don't mention him anymore, like Thunder Rosa or whatever, you know, but... Yep. And this, okay, Jeff, forgive me because this is superficial as fuck. Plus, Rudy's just fucking gross, right? Like, ugh, it's like, you know, Weinstein, like, ugh, you're like, nobody trying to fuck that, you know, and it's not like I imagine there's any kind of charm involved, you know? It was...
Coastal overdevelopment creates a riskier, more complex local environment.
Right. While using the incorrect form of your and its and their every single time. That's another thing about Rudy. He's one of the dumbest. Oh my god! Like, I don't think that guy's capable of writing a sentence where something isn't fucked up about it.
Sure, we could avoid catastrophic risks for future generations, but then we couldn't have 4x4 pickups with...
Well, and so the guy who's picky about how everybody should do everything in wrestling, just so, doesn't think how you communicate matters. Okay. The guy who's worried about making sure that you got your left foot back when you've got somebody in a headlock in some fake fighting bullshit isn't worried about how you know. But don't, you know, consider me fucking unintelligent because I don't know basic rules of grammar and spelling. When we live in a time where, you know, your computer catches the majority of that shit for you if you let it. They're worried about your soul, Jeff. They're worried about your soul. Yeah, if you're gonna change my shit, make it as good as pineapple pussy, or else I don't want to fucking know about it. Oh, that's nice. Somebody on my Twitch was just like, you're talking to your friend, you're not even paying attention, and you're like killing sperm whales that are like the hardest thing in the game, like you're not even trying. Like, yep. Damn right, motherfucker. Ready for this new shit. Cause yeah, I gotta fight a fucking sperm whale in this shit. Oh, you motherfucker. Once I chew his ass up. I make that joke every fucking time. It's money shot time, bitch. Moby Dick in your mouth. Alright, here we go. Right, they eventually got that report only because Larry looked at the video later. Yes. I mean, just the Manders Todd thing at the table where Manders is flopping around. Couldn't lay fucking stomach down because he would have been like a fucking turtle on its back. Boy, did Huck love me saying that it looks like he's lost weight. Boy, he was happy about that. He does, though. He's clearly lost a bunch of pounds. So. Yes, indeed. Indeed.
Along Blanchard County's 78-mile...
Did you see the thing about that he got the fucking, you know, genetic ancestry testing done? Holy shit. That motherfucker's 55% fucking European, Jeff. Yeah. Fucking Forever Mocked by Jeff and Steve. Fucking. But yeah, he was like the big chunk was Italian and other kinds of swarthy white, you know.
It's been posited that a shark could conceivably live forever.
Sicilians. Your great grandmother, she fucked a nigga. No, she did. He's like, you are and you're a cantaloupe. This guy, give me a gun. Yeah, this guy. Dude, that scene. What a movie. Great people being great. That's what that movie is. It's great people being great. You know? Here you go, Walken. Here you go, frickin', you know, Dennis Hopper. Here you go, Christian Slater at the height of your powers. You know, just...
I just want to say, given maybe the status due to some of the things, but as later, and all the time, I feel like, I start talking about the list, we got fucking De Niro,
I was so thrilled when, you know, because friends of mine were like, you gotta watch Mr. Robot. And I'm like, why am I gonna watch Mr. Robot? Fuck Mr. Robot, right? Watch Mr. Robot, saw that Christian Slater was in it, and he's fucking awesome. And I was so glad for him to have that, you know? Oh my god. Yeah. And I mean, and Heather's, holy shit, you know? How much did we quote, how much did you quote Heather's? Oh my god. I can't hear gay without I love my dead gay son. I can't hear it.
Thanks to powerful risk assessment software.
And you know, because Heather's was made into a musical not that long ago that's very popular, so Leo knows it, right? So Leo's never seen Heather's, but like, you know, I know the kids are primed to watch it, and when they do, you know.
Yeah, he's probably ready.
Yeah.
I mean, that's nice.
Teenage suicide, don't do it.
Evolution reaches its apex with Prosperity Sand's spacious flow-through floor plans.
Oh, the people are flipping out because they're like, my God, dude, freaking just eating through these sharks. It's like, I have a point goal before I stop. Martha Dump Truck. Big Fun. Wasn't that the name of the group? Big Fun? So good.
Due to caviar keys' increased coastal exposure, storms that had a minor impact 3 decades ago cause significant flooding today.
And she tried to kill herself, but it didn't work. And oh God, that movie was so brutal, man. Just brutal. Did I watch what?
Having detected her prey, the bull shark's sensorial system comes alive with amplified vibrations.
Yeah. As did I. And I remember getting the soundtrack and then going, hey, their Wiener Schnitzel song isn't on here, and then having to go track that down. See, as they say, today's kids will never know that struggle of you get the soundtrack and then the song that you want isn't on it. And you're like, ah, fuck. And then you... Oh. I remember when I officially realized I was older and out of touch a little bit was I went to go see Avatar with Law. And one of the songs in the score I was particularly taken with. I'm like, that is gorgeous. Like, that's a gorgeous arrangement. And Law hits a button on her phone, holds her phone up, and then goes, it's blah, 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 blah. And she's like, and I've already bought it, so we can play it in my car when we were leaving. And I mean, I was like, what kind of... I mean, she might as well have cut the head off of a live chicken. You know, I was just like, what?
I love that shit. That's so great. I mean, we are old, but we're also fucking adaptable and fucking, you know, like, okay with shit fucking things, you know? Just don't fucking leave me behind.
Look at that macabre art. I need to take a picture of that. I'm practicing precision. So I'm fighting this alligator, and I literally bit off each one of its limbs individually and got it to the point where it couldn't move anymore. And so I'm just like, let me take these pictures of it, of my beauty. Because people have said, like, oh, that's so hilarious when you do that. When you're like, let me, this macabre art in real time. Like, I'm going to bite all the fins off of this orca. Just leave it floating while I just tail whip it around. Oh, here's one. Here's one of my little tricks. So there's a guy fishing off of the end of his boat, and the boat's moving. I bet I can pluck him off and not touch the boat. Let's see. Jump, pluck. Did it! Oh, and he's not quite dead. Even better. Where is he? Oh yeah, there he is. Tail whip. See if I can hit him over that fence. Boom! Ah, didn't get him over the fence. Oh well. Sick. Oh. Hell on Earth. I watched that finally. That was good.
What's that?
So that's a documentary on Netflix. You'd mentioned it, that you'd seen it recently.
The human and shark.
Maybe I'm saying the wrong name.
Ocoee's got a shark situation.
That is the truth.
It's
The
important
fucking.
to create
Let me
personal
see.
time for sober
I too consume way too much. Like the next door neighbor that they thought was the killer, and they weren't sure. Fuck. Ooh, the 1666 one. I'm looking forward to that myself. We haven't talked about that yet. I thought the first 2 episodes were fucking boss. I fucking loved them.
I thought the first one, like, oh, this is fucking great. Also on Netflix,
Somebody got her. Right?
The battle is over.
Tattoo redo. We've already watched them all. That didn't make it a day past Leo. As soon as Leo saw some tattoo redos, like, we're watching this. So. Yeah. Yeah, boy, was that disappointing when we were like, oh, we already watched them all. Yes. Yes, yes.
All I see is water. I see her. Never mind. She's close. She's real close. Should have brought my fish finder. Does it smell uneasy? Or is that just quick? Can't avoid us forever. This is my favorite part of the job. Probably right under me. They got me to
Fucking awesome. All this wrestling, I was just like a weekend, got a cramp down. Or the week. Like Wednesday. That Rampage, that's the Big Daddy, right? That's Friday.
Yeah.
It's haunting me. I know it. Anybody.
Oh.
You know, a fucking full ass building like the fucking days of fucking.
All I see.
Another shark hunt draws to a close.
Going crazy. I mean, I watch all this shit anyway, and AEW stuff I tend to want to watch live because, you know, I want that rush of like, ooh, something crazy happened and the crowd reacts so big, you know, and I want to be the first to witness it. And if I tell you, if I miss some like CM Punk showing up shit, I will be so mad. You know, like I want to see that, I want to hear that, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna be spectacular. I mean,
Well,
honestly,
that kind of stuff.
whatever they do,
The hunt is over, and there will be an inevitable rush on dollar drafts at Flamingo Joe's.
Yeah.
Fun for the day.
It seems Port Clovis has forgotten all about its rogue shark.
Yeah.
you know, don't make a fuck what they do. I don't know the deal. I go, that fucking
Every night before they sleep, parrotfish envelop
Oh my God.
a sleeve of mucus. Because what's breezier and more comfortable than mucus? Bull sharks have been known to eat echinoderms when desperate, to which I can very much relate.
Yeah. Yeah, yes, that's exactly it, right? There's no joy.
And I feel like those people are having the time of their
You know what else they're doing that the WWE is not doing? Is they're making another generation of wrestling fans. Just statistically, they're doing it, and WWE is not. There's no passing on this shit to your kids shit. I mean, of course it happens on some level, but, you know, as far as who's watching the show, and who I see at the shows, way less kids than there's ever been. You know? And who can blame them? What, I'm supposed to get... You know, what am I supposed to get jazzed about if I'm fucking 12? You know? Yeah.
it sucks. Absolutely sucks. And I remember when they did the and I love when I'm fucking right.
Well, and like the Alexa Bliss Lily stuff gets worse than a boo. Honestly, it gets no reaction. And I think, like, how can they deny that nobody gives a fuck about this shit? How can they deny it at this point?
I think
No. I mean, it's. Smoke up, Johnny! It was my favorite meme that I saw yesterday. Is they had the two shots, one of Lily and then one of Lily winking, and they said, "Admit it to yourself if you haven't already. This embarrassed you as a wrestling fan." I'm like, how can you deny that?
The planet's great tides encircle the globe in constant motion.
I mean, you know, for me it was Buddy Burke going on and on every time it was discussed. It was just like, dude. I mean, at least Katie Vick was 1 week. You know? Fuck's sake. I'm honestly shocked that they didn't put Alexa Bliss with Nikki Ash against, you know, Charlotte and Rhea in some way, shape, or form. I was waiting for that shit. And again, boy, the WWE loves punishing fat people, right? They just love it. It's just like, oh, let's have Eva Marie slap her twice.
The shark is still,
you know? It's like, it's not, I mean, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to think, oh, when she finally gets her back, it'll be amazing? Or do I just think, like, this is really shitty? Like, yeah. Yeah, I guess that's true. And, you know, Bruce Pritchard and whatever other dick suckers are smart enough to go, oh, Vince McMahon loves this shit, so here we go. Damn right, And then, I mean, her name is Dewdrop, spelled the way that in the Urban Dictionary is for lesbian. What the fuck is going on, Jeff? What the fuck is going on?
No one has seen great might make. Perhaps if we stick around long enough, we'll get lucky.
It sucks that that the Ocoee being humiliated. There's no plan for her beyond being good enough. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's her whole reason for being there. And that's pretty shitty.
I mean, it's the league that brought you Piggy James, right? And then put her shit in a garbage bag. My God. I mean, you want to talk about going postal? How the fuck? You know what I mean? Oh.
The Mexican rode riding lawnmowers to the range and carrying blowers. Think about that.
Oh, yeah.
Think about that. I mean,
I seem to recall, I'm going to look up a picture of them in a second since I'm winding the video game part down. Like, I seem to recall it was something about how they were dressed too. Let me look it up right now.